I need to, right now, mark down the apartments. Because, as I've said before, this is, in fact, not a scam. And we gotta clean up Stress's apartment that we found yesterday. It is very funny, though. It is very funny that she has just claimed this and clearly done a mission possible here. I'd say that's a well done mission possible, but it's gotta come down. I want to mark out the position of the ones I sold, and also keep track of the prices. That's gonna be important for my minigame. I don't know what we're gonna do with Ren, though, who hasn't paid the 450 diamonds, and now he's got it in his head that he won't pay until the apartment is done. That's not how it works. I'm gonna have to evict him. I said I'd give him 3 days to pay it back. I don't think he's gonna pay it back. Even though he's rich. He is like, you saw his beacon shop. He sold a lot of stuff. He's a rich man at this moment in time. Wait! You have broken my wood? Stress? One can simply not just break another man's wood. It's back. It's fine. It's fine. Okay, nothing happened. This landlord is rude. He kicked Stress out. No. I want to remind everyone, Stress did not buy an apartment. She actually declined buying an apartment. Which, you know, it's going to be her loss. Potentially. It's going to be her loss, potentially. And so, I haven't kicked her out. I've just removed the... I've just done pest control, basically. Remove the infestation. That shouldn't be there. Okay, I have gone to the Reddits. I have found this post by Sasta Ganja. Sasta Ganja has done the massive work a couple of months ago of laying out whose apartment is whose. And also how much they've paid for it. And also here's Ren's own credit, 450 diamonds. So first on the list is Gem, who has the penthouse, the bottom left penthouse, this here. And so we're going to mark this down just so that I remember. Do I mark this down on the back of the apartment? Yeah, I may mark it down on the back of the apartment so it doesn't ruin the facade for potential future sales. Because if I've now done this correctly and looked at this Reddit thread, which, by the way, we're going to go back and look at here. So we have 3 apartments to go, right? And I have to sell those 3 apartments before I build apartments and before I conclude this minigame. Gemini Tay bought this for 50 diamonds. That's her apartment. And that means that Mumbo lives here. And he paid, let's see here, Mumbo paid 90 diamonds. Okay, I think they both got these apartments pretty cheap, to be honest with you. Okay, and then on the very top apartment, on credit, so this is not set in stone. I will kick him out 3 days from now if he hasn't paid, because if he doesn't pay, this is not going to work out. So up here right now, Rendog has bought this for 450 diamonds on credit. Okay, there we go. And right below him is the first prospect, Vintage Beef, 369 diamonds. And he's paid and done, like any normal person. Right, then we have the suspect that we've been speaking about, Joels. He lives here, in this apartment. Joel, and he has paid 2 diamonds, armor stand service on credit. Which is fine, because I asked for it to be at my leisure. So that's not the same situation as Rendog. Okay, why do I have diorite in my inventory? It's disgusting. And then this apartment here is none others than Mr. Ethos, because he's washed up and he's got the towels. Etho, and he has paid, let's see here, 126 diamonds. Okay, so we have this apartment, and this apartment that we yet have to sell. I have attempted to sell to Falls, to Stress. Both of them failed. Both of them thought that it was just a scam. Who else could we try and sell to? I kind of want to try and sell to Tango. Skizzleman. Skizzleman is an easy target. Oh dear. The only problem with Skizzleman is that he plays on the opposite hours of me. But if I message him on Discord and try and set up a time, and so yeah, then I can probably get a hold of him. Maybe Doc would want to buy one. Maybe Doc should be rich. So let's see. I want to sell to Skizz. This is like top prospects. Skizz. People are saying Scar. Last time I saw Scar, he blew me up with TNT. Cleo is rich. Oh, Cleo is a great target. G-Dubs would be good, but he's never on when I'm on. Do we think we would be able to sell it to Cub? Cub is usually very cynical with these things. He's like, no, that doesn't sound like a good deal. XP the same. He's a very smart man, XP. Yeah, let's try with Impulse. The problem with Impulse is that he owns his own sort of city, right? But yeah, I think we write Impulse, and then we're going to extend this with Tango and B-Dubs. And you know what? If it comes to it, if we get like all of these buy an apartment and we're full in the apartment block, what is there to say that we can't shove 5'2" B-Dubs in with, you know, Ren, for example? He'll fit. I do have some sale techniques for Skizzleman. Here, do you want to hear them? Okay, here they are. No, it's great, Skizz. It's amazing. I know you're new to the server, but you don't know this, but I do this every season. Thanks, by the way, for watching my videos. Not. But you know what? We cut that out. I forget about that. Forget about that, Skizz. Don't worry. Don't worry. I won't judge you for it. We'll pretend as if you knew that I always do apartments. And anyway, I have made a balcony apartment for you because I know and I've heard, you know, I know these things. I know that you are an enjoyer of balconies. And as such, I would like to offer you this very nice apartment. And if you look closely at the balcony signs, at the hanging signs that are forming the balcony railing, they say in Swedish, Skizzleman, a language where we use a lot of these squares. They say your name, and they say is great. Skizz is great, which is apparently, I mean, I know this because I adore you so much, Skizz. It's apparently a saying. So this is Swedish, and you know what? You get that for free. You get to learn that this is Swedish for free as well. Because I adore you. I think you're a great man. There will be a mere 50 blocks of diamonds for the apartment. He's gonna buy it for sure. He's gonna buy it for sure. You know, I don't think there's any reason to be ancient Swedish runes. There you go. Yeah, there you go. It is correct. We get it confirmed by chat as well. There are a lot of Swedes in chat saying that is true. So we aim that to Skizzleman, and then we have the AC unit. Should be easy to sell an AC unit. I mean, Tango lives in the desert. He would appreciate an air conditioner. Cleo is, you know, she has a lot of money. She'd probably go for the one that has the cat above her. And I can sell it either because it's a cat or because the cat is not in her apartment because she owns the cat cafe. Yeah. It's close to Mission Possible. That's another great thing, Meinstein. Thank you, Meinstein. Oh, wow. That's a great shout out. Yeah, it's close to Mission Possible. Whew. I have another issue here on the Hermitcraft server. And that is how on earth I'm going to put a side on this building. I don't know. So maybe we do some quick digging. And we dig this stuff away. So that I get a better visual indication. Because I want this to be flat, I think. Now that Well, Falls hasn't actually done my river here, but everywhere else the river is done, and I can see where the river goes. It's it simplifies it a little bit, I think. One thing that I really wanted to do, but I don't think I can be bothered about it or with it anymore. One thing I really wanted to do was to have a beacon grid for my base. It's kind of nerdy, but it's so nice to have a beacon grid. The problem with having a beacon grid, though, is that it imposes on other people's bases. So what I mean with a beacon grid was that I want to set up the quad beacon. So you want haste and you want speed, right, in your base. And so what I wanted to do was to have... they cover 50 by 50, so I wanted to have like each corner of the base have speed and haste. And maybe have a control center. When did I do that last? Was that season 6 that I had a beacon grid with a control center? A control center as in you can turn the effects on and off at your will. So like, oh, I don't want speed. And you turn it off. So we have this come out like this. Oh man, that has done a lot to the base. Am I crazy? That tiny thing has added completion feeling to the base. Right? Because not... Yeah. My original idea for turning the apartment building was to make this out of like cobble or tuff or something, like a stone side to it. Because we're going to have no windows on this side. But how about turning it kind of like I turned this? So how about turning it and having half of the size be wooden as a facade, a wooden facade, and then it goes back one block into like a tough stone andesite mix with an emergency staircase on it. Would that look kind of cool? I think that would look kind of good, actually. So we are starting, I don't remember fully, but yeah, okay. So we're starting with like dark oak at the bottom. Oh no, we're starting with a little bit of stone, yeah. So what I meant with this whole apartment building, now that I've got a little bit of organization done. Originally I wanted to use this green color, and we could maybe still use that because it's also easy to farm. But let's consider that the apartment turns here. And is that, yeah, that's stripped dark oak. And then there would be another window here. Yeah, let's count this out. So we would have two. Would the window come right here, actually? Wait, no, I gotta count this on the outside because I have a weird corner. 3. Okay, so 3 and then 1, 2, 3. So there would be the window. The window would start there. And it would be 3 wide. Which would also increase the value of these apartments a bit on this side. Okay, something like that is probably good. So that would go up. We would then go... Oh, but the next window is right after. Okay, that's a bit awkward. Or is it? Is that looking weird that it's 3? Did I miss... Oh, no, it doesn't. So we would have another one of these pillars, and that would hit the sign. That would look a bit awkward. Because look, we would have to have another one of these. It doesn't need to be symmetrical though, Iskall. I think it does. I think these type of things needs to be quite symmetrical because it's a... I agree that symmetry isn't always the way. But I think that this specific thing needs to be symmetrical. However, that may work though. We may get away with doing that. Yeah, I mean, I'd rather have that and keep the symmetry and have that like end weirdly on the sign. Or just redo the sign. Like I could just move the sign out one. That's fine. Like I don't really care about that. I think that's a good middleman. Anyway, that's way too much tough here, but let's have a quick look. I think that could work, you know. Way too much tough though. I think I need to shade it I think that's what I need to do. I need to have a shade effect, kind of like my rust. So like I have a green shade effect, the mold from the facade, from the wooden facade. And then the rest of it should probably just be stone, if I'm honest with you. So what I mean is I'll do something like this. I'll let it slide over using light gray concrete, stone. So it looks a bit moist on the side. I think that's going to look really good, actually. So if we were to mimic, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks maybe. And this is where it doesn't have to be symmetrical. We can go longer if we feel like it's weird with just 5 blocks, because I think that 5 blocks may be a little bit small. If I just vibe, I think it should probably go to here. And then we just raise this real quick so we can get an idea of it. I do like the idea of the windows wrapping and then this falling behind. I think that's going to look good. I do think that is a good idea. And then, of course, we'll have decorations, you know, air conditioning units, a fire staircase for sure. Or like a ladder. I think a ladder encased in like trapdoors would be nice. Like a fire escape. I do think it should be a bit fatter as well. I think it needs to go back, yeah, maybe to here. That's a good size, though. And so, yeah, I think that's a good size. We'd have windows running up all the way here. We can have one of these fire staircases or just a ladder. But I do like that. Then I have to think about the next building, because we don't just want a boring wall here, right? We want things happening. So then the next building should probably come out, maybe, or go in. And then, of course, we'll wrap this around with the internet cafe. We'll wrap around on the bottom here. Perhaps a window or something like that, so it looks like an old shop. I think we can make it work with this amount of stone. I think that it looks... Okay, here's the thing when building in this game that I've learned. It definitely looks wrong right now, but that is because this is completely bland. But add a fire staircase to it, add a few, you know, air conditioning units or whatever, and immediately, I think at least... Immediately, I think that it's going to start popping. Let me do this. Tell you what. Let me add this window here, yeah? Let me add this window. And then add the black. I think that wraps nicely. That facade looks like a wooden facade that you put on a concrete building. Does it not? Does it not look like a wooden facade that you put on a concrete building? Well, I think this turned out nice. I think there's... actually, even though it's not texture or anything, I think that has done quite a bit of work to the base. Should we just keep building it? Get it in. Get it in! So Iskall, it's been a while. Never got a chance to ask if you've gotten your new PC. Oh, you want to hear about the new PC? I mean, sure. I've got the new PC. I got it from this company whom I greatly recommend to anyone, called PC Specialist. Do you know about this company, chat? It's a great company, and they are very customer oriented. If you're looking to buy a new PC, of course, go and check them out. There's a link in chat. I think I know about this company by now. Yeah, good. And so also, what happened, and I don't think I actually closed this case with you guys, but what happened was that my PC was actually faulty by the looks of things. The RAM was faulty. Not because of PC Specialist, mind you. I should say that. Wait. This is not... No, that is the window. Or is that the door? Yeah, Ether has a door, right? That's why I'm confused. Yeah. It wasn't actually faulty because of PC Specialist. It was faulty... Well, I mean, it's... Essentially, it would be their fault, I suppose. But what they did for me was that they sent out new RAM in a different configuration. So that was what seemed to be the issue with the RAM. Big shout out to Hoy, who helped me a lot. I've had one crash since. So apparently there is this thing with RAM these days that the RAM, if I understood it correctly, is basically too fast for its own good. Does that make sense? RAM has got too strong for its own good. And as such, they had to change the configuration of my RAM. It's too good for itself. Yeah, no, it's something like that, right? Really weird. But the way they handled that is so important to remember, because one may see this as an influencer disaster. I sign a contract, I get a product, the product is faulty, and yet I am promoting it. And you could stop there and say, okay, that is disaster if you were a PC specialist. Like, oh, come on, man. I celebrate it because it also got us to see the level of service and commitment that they had for their products. And I think that just like buying a secondhand car, buying a PC or buying anything is a bit of a gamble. You don't know if it's going to be working or not, or if there are going to be issues. And I really think that what defines a good company is how they handle the cases that do have issues. So I'm kind of happy that I'm sitting here being honest to say they handle it extremely well. Now, did they do that because I am me, because they know that I have a channel to speak to? Maybe I can't answer that honest, like with honesty. I can't, right? Because I don't have any other examples. I am me, and I've been me for my entire life, and so yeah, I don't have much to say about that. I'm just gonna try and add this green shade because this may not look good, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I have this idea that I want to add moldiness to the side of this build. And I may need, or I definitely need, I think I need light gray concrete here to blend this a little bit better. It's a little bit harsh right now. But let me just, let me cook. That shading from the wood to the moss looks amazing. Am I right? A little bit of like mold, you know, the wooden facade on top of the concrete, water comes in. We can do more of that, for sure. Is it valuable? What is this block? Is this? It's probably concrete. So that's lime terracotta. Lime terracotta. That block is so good there. But maybe just green terracotta, because, you know, materials, all of these things. Okay, so if that would be the base, if that would be the deepest it goes, we could add a little bit of that into the moss. I'm gonna add like a big patch here because it might be too much. It might need to be like very limited for this to work because it's such a harsh transition. I mean, that looks good. I think we could even do more. Yeah, we could even do a bigger patch. Like if I go back now and go out even more, so I go like almost double green here, I think it's gonna look good. Now is where we see that it's too much. Let's see. I mean, that looks good. Oh, we could have graffiti on this wall. Okay, do I have, now that I'm in this headspace, do I have any light gray concrete? I wanted to see if we just help this transition here slightly. The idea with this concrete is it's barely going to be visible, but it's going to help the gradient. It's French. Slightly here. Yeah, it's a bit too uniform. I agree. It's a bit too uniform. If I add a moldy patch here, I think it's going to be too flower powery. If we add a bit of tough in the stone and we add patches, perhaps we can make it work. Either that, or we gotta think about perhaps removing one of these green patches. So if I would come over here and I would go like something like this, right? And I would just do something like this, that, and that. Doesn't have to be perfect. In fact, it's good if it's not perfectly symmetrical here. Yeah, I don't think that's the issue though, because as I say, we're gonna add things on top of the gray. The gray is not gonna stay that way. What about here? What about doing a little bit of this here, so it's a little bit more connected? Yeah, that's better. Still very much woo woo woo. It looks like a dragon tattoo on the side with an eyebrow. Doesn't help that I've accidentally managed to go a straight line here. Okay, let's just get rid of this. And also get rid of this. Yeah. That's better. That's a lot better. But I quite like, because it looks like, if you look at it quickly, if you don't look at the textures, forget about the tough texture in your head. If you just look at the color, it actually looks like the stone, like this is chipped into the stone. This is like crushed into the stone. With that in mind, this should continue up to the right here. Oh yeah, it should continue up to the right. Because it's going to look like it's broken. Oh, I just saw it. I saw it. Hold on. If we consider that the tuff is actually an indentation, that's the word I'm looking for. It's an indentation. It's ruined the stone. And it's maybe, you know, it comes from the mold. Then doing something like this should make it look sick. Wild, yo. Yeah. It looks like it's chipped in from the side. And the deeper it goes, the more moldy it's got. Looked like a cut into the stone. I like it. I like it. That with detail is going to look good. I think what we got to do is just like add some cables like we have over here. Like we got to take the wall and we got to do this, right? Add a fan. We need a fan for sure. If we add like 2 fans and then we add like an electric box and maybe an air conditioner and then the fire staircase. I wonder if it should be a fire staircase or if it should just be like a ladder. So it'd be somewhere like here, I would imagine. So you'd have to build it like this. Yeah, okay. So one problem here immediately is that it has the same color as the stone. To be honest with you, it doesn't look awful. It kind of looks as a cool feature on the wall. I'll be honest, like, it actually doesn't look terrible if that goes all the way up. You could even have a different background behind it. Like, if we put ladders inside, for example, we'd get a different color here. And maybe the eyes, like the shading, will do something. Yeah, imagine if that color would be dark. Okay, here's the thing. If we use trapdoors and we use dark oak trapdoors, for example, that wouldn't work because we have the dark oak here. It would look really strange. It needs to be a different material for the eyes. The closest I can think of to do this would be to use walls instead. So maybe we draft something with walls. I have an idea. If we use walls and fence gates. And exactly what I thought would happen is happening here. I think this is way too heavy, first of all. And also, I think that... So what fence gates do we have? Like, all fence gates we have are all wooden. Maybe bamboo or birch would work, but then I think it's too bright. And so, yeah, I think that it's too heavy and it's weird that it's wood in the middle. Between these two, I like this one better. Like, I like the ladder design better. Maybe we give the ladder design another chance of having a dark background real quick. Okay. Okay. Hold. What if I remove this? We're going to lose a bit of the 3D effects, so this may be garbage. Add maybe scaffolding. It's too bright, man. I mean, it looks 1,000 times better than this. This garbage just has to come down. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of liked it better when the iron bars were wrapping it. Let me think. Is there any other block that could cover it? I mean, you could have glass panes, but I think that's going to look a bit weird. It look too futuristic for what we're trying to achieve. Could, of course, do it in some sections, like suggested, but I think that might look too spotty. So like you could have, you know, you could have your gaps in between. Maybe, yeah. Now maybe the side pads are wrong though. Now maybe the side pads should only be on the bottom and like in sections. And then would we indent the stone with tuff behind it on the sides? So like, I'm really not a fan of having the side pads everywhere. I think that they're good in less. Less is more. But like then would we go here, right? And use the tuff as a shade. And let's add back the ladders. I mean, it's weird. It's weird, but it could work. It's a bit strange at the moment, I feel. Looks a bit strange. But it could work. I think it takes up a lot of the eye space when you look here. Definitely because of the ladders. The ladders, the color of the ladders are all wrong. But there ain't any other ladders we can use. It does distract a bit from the effort you put into the mold. Yeah, I mean, that's the point though, right? That's the point. That's fine. I think a build in Minecraft should mean different things to you, or you should feel different things every time you look at it. Look at my Mission Possible headquarters. Did you even pay attention to the cable that goes here? And if you did you pay attention to the mold that's coming down from the ceiling in that time you looked at it? You know, because you're like, you're moving around in a world. You don't want to see everything at once. You don't want it to be plain. I actually think that this is a great progress to this build. No? Actually, just take that corner in. That corner is popping. And now you imagine the next building coming here, and then buildings all the way. I'm going to connect buildings all the way up to... there's not going to be a gap here. I built this here because I wanted it central to the Hermit lands, and I wanted to mark the corner of the district. It's great. Great success.